the game against Indiana and had time to really evaluate film, what are things that stood out to you, especially in that first quarter, that you guys want to build upon heading into tomorrow?
Yeah, I think our effort and energy was good in the first quarter. We generated some good looks that we were looking for in the first half, really. And the second half, when the game started getting away from us, we started letting our offense affect our defense and vice versa. And so it led to some rush shots at times, so we just want to build on that consistency and put together a full game playing the way we want to play.
When those rush shots happen, is it more mental, where you kind of see the deficit, and you kind of said it after the game, where you're just trying to generate the deficit all in one possession? How do you kind of, not correct the mental, but make sure that they don't let that mental get in the way?
Yeah, I think that it's just it's a matter of how the opponents play. Like Indiana and teams like Indiana and New York and Minnesota, teams that play at a fast pace, they can go on runs pretty quickly, and it puts you in a position to make you think that you got to get it all back quickly. And so you mentioned it, just chipping away at leads like that, kind of building it out in a few minutes at a time, a few possessions at a time, so that one mistake doesn't lead to two.
As you guys are trying to develop Angel and Camilla in the post, how has Courtney helped that process?
That's helped tremendously. She's someone who's spent a lot of time in her past, the earlier parts of her career, with two bigs as well. And so she kind of understands what that spacing looks like and how to communicate that to to our post players. And obviously that experience is super valuable for us. So it's been extremely.
She didn't play the position. She plays a completely opposite position, but she has expertise on that. Like, how often do you see her coaching them?
Yeah, I think when you're a point guard, especially at the level that she's at, you're someone that has a pulse on all five positions, not just yours. And so from that standpoint, she's able to be an efficient communicator to them when it comes to offensive spacing and anything like that.
Coach, you had to practice these two practices. You also had the film session, everything else. What do you take away from all that to prepare you for this next game?
Yeah, I think we're excited to get in front of our home crowd. I think anytime that we're able to interact and embrace with the community, it's certainly a positive for us. But that's part of who we want to be. We want to serve this community. We want to serve this city. We want to be a representation on and off the court of Chicago in the best possible way. And so that's kind of how we approach it.
What have you seen out of the area backings, and how do you want to see her contribute? You said you wanted to kind of have her be versatile and also be a shooter, not just somebody who plays defense. What have you seen out of her that shows that she can do that, and how do you want to utilize her moving forward?
Yeah, I think we've seen some glimpses throughout training camp, throughout the preseason, and in that first game against Indiana, where she can be effective, and it's just a matter of putting her in those positions where she feels comfortable. And when you spent the majority of your career, really all of your career, with one team and in a certain system, then you get comfortable there. So it's a learning curve for all of us, her included, and so. I think she's getting more and more familiar as the days go on, how to pick her spots and where she can be an efficient scorer. And as always, the defensive tenacity is going to be there. So.
How about the relationship between Courtney and Haley? I think in Haley's case, you might like getting drafted somewhere where you play right away, and that have its advantages, but also the resource that you get by coming here and not having that pressure and having Courtney.
Yeah, I think there's just as much value in sitting behind someone like a Courtney Vandersloot as there is in going into the fire in your first season as well. And so there's pluses and minuses to both, but I think for her, the opportunity to learn and to gain that experience and that knowledge from a Hall of Famer is it's something that you can't really put a price on, put into words. And so to Haley's credit, she soaked in every amount of experience and opportunity and knowledge from Courtney, and Courtney's been a willing participant in sharing that along with Haley. So.
Looking at the chemistry of this team, Coach, we know that's an evolving aspect of the team. Where do you think you guys are at this point?
Still growing, still building. I think our foundation is there. I think it's just a matter of laying it brick by brick from that standpoint and taking it day by day and not expecting the finished product to be there on game 2 or 3. It's a matter of playing our best basketball gradually as we move forward in the season. So, even if we would have came out on top in Indiana, we still would have had work to do. And so now it's no different. And we've put our head down the last couple of days and getting back to work, and we'll see where we're at against New York.
Coach, you talked about Courtney, like helping Angel, helping Haley, helping Camilla. Obviously, former Liberty player herself. How does that help you guys as a coaching staff heading into this one with preparation?
Yeah, I think it just adds another layer of focus. I think that Courtney has a good pulse on New York and how they want to play, and but at the same time, you still gotta go out there and execute. And so I think the focus has just really been on us and fine-tuning the things that we felt like were necessary coming out of game 1 and going into game 2, and that's where our focus has been.
And then continuing to talk about the development of Angel and Camille, a lot of 4-out, 5-out action today in practice. I know only the one game under your belt, but how have you liked what you've seen from them so far in that new, more spread-out system?
Yeah, I think it's been good. I think we saw the potential of what it could be throughout the preseason, and there's going to be days where you're not hitting shots and the offense looks a little worse than it may be, and there's going to be days where you're making shots and the offense looks great. And so I think it's just working through those moments and not getting too high with the highs and too low with the lows. And so we're far from a finished product, but we're trending in the right direction.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Coach.
Coach.
Appreciate it.